Hi everyone, happy Friday. I'm so glad that it's Friday. I hope everyone's doing well. Thank you so much for all the likes, subscribes, and shares. It really means a lot to me. We keep building that community little by little, so I really appreciate that. Today, I decided to go back to my obsession of Netflix. The last video was books. We're going back to Netflix because I just am absolutely loving the content and the programming that they have on Netflix. And I'm just in love with it. So today we're going to talk about 4 movies that Netflix produced along with other production companies for their app for Netflix. And I'm super excited to talk about these because, again, the content is just amazing. The programming that Netflix is doing right now is, to me, in my opinion, storytelling at its finest. They're taking old stories or old ideas, old themes, and making them fresh and modern and fun and shocking differences that you're like, oh, I know what's going to happen, and something completely different. But yet the genre is kind of still similar. But the first one I want to talk about is Amy Adams' Netflix film, The Woman in the Window. It's originally a book. And this film, it starts out, by the way, spoilers ahead, it starts out with you not understanding why this woman is obviously broken by something. Something has tragically happened, and it's caused her to be a shut-in. It's caused her to self-medicate by overusing her alcohol and her medication. But she's also a doctor. She's a child psychologist. And something has happened to her, and you just wonder what that is. But yet all the things that start happening, it makes you wonder if she's crazy and if it's all in her head, and we're seeing someone just spiraling out of control, basically. But we do find out that there's a thriller component to this entire movie, which I absolutely loved. I think I watched it twice straight through and then straight through again. I love Amy Adams. I think she's fantastic as an actor, and her choices that she made in the scenes just really fascinated me, and I just wanted to watch it again. So in the end, I'm not going to give away the best parts because there's neighborhood people they deal with, there's surprises and shock that you deal with, and the underlining ending, you think, oh, maybe it is, maybe it isn't, and then you end up, there's a psychotic on the loose. So it's an amazing, fun movie. I absolutely loved watching it. And like I said, I love Amy Adams, and the rest of the cast, just absolutely love them. And I'm very happy that I landed on this film. Netflix will email you things that they think you'll like to watch, and that's how I found out about this, was through an email, and it showed up on my feed, and I just absolutely loved it. It's still on Netflix. They haven't pulled it yet. I don't think they will, since it's their film. But yeah, it's a good one, and if you like thrillers, if you like suspense, this is absolutely for you. Just be prepared if you're watching it with children. There is a few parts that that come up that are a bit scary. So parental discretion advised. The next one I want to talk about, which I absolutely loved in this Netflix film, is Things Seen and Heard. It's with Amanda Seyfried, and she's phenomenal. And this is, you think it's going to be the typical haunted house story. You know, the ghosts are haunting the house, and they move from the city to a small town and change locations and careers at different places. And you think you know the story. You think you know what's going to happen with the ghosts in the house. But you don't. Again, spoilers ahead. There's marital problems. We have a husband who may not necessarily be who we think he is. And every little thing that he may or may not have said to her is a lie. And in the end, whatever demonic or ghostly problem was in the history of that house with the people that have lived in there prior, that have died in there prior, evil seeks out evil. And so the husband had these tendencies already, and it just fed off of it. And he just spiraled out of control. Ambition, greed, lust, all those things. But unfortunately, the women in that house always end tragically. And the story is, the difference of the story is you don't know that. It really ties in domestic violence, it ties in demonic possession, it ties in small town, ambition, greed, like I said, lust. It's really good. And they just took two types of storylines and just wove it into an amazing film. I loved it. Again, I watched this one more than once too. It was just wonderful. And the cast really worked well together. It was fun to see some people I hadn't seen in a while. And so that was fun. So anyway, Things Seen and Heard. Loved it. You should watch it. The third film is Aftermath. I absolutely love this film. Again, this is a take you immediately think in Aftermath. It's a young couple, married couple, who are having struggling problems in their marriage, and they move into this new house that had a previous murder in it. So you think, oh, okay, they're going into a house that had previous murder, and what was the reasons behind that murder? And so you're thinking the story's going to go down that path, but then you start getting this ghostly, demonic, scary type situation happening in the house, and you think, oh, okay, another ghost story. And then everything starts tying together, weaving together, and the story moves on, and you realize that even though there may or may not have that ghostly aura to it, the reasons for everything happening in the house is the previous person that was killed there was doing some pretty nasty, ugly stuff in the basement. So this story turned out to be not a ghost story, but a crazy psychotic person story. And it's absolutely a great watch if you want to watch it. I loved it. I love thriller, suspense, horror, murder mysteries, anything like that. So definitely watch Aftermath if you like that kind of genre. Okay, the next one I have to talk about, the last one I'm going to talk about. If you like action, if you like thriller, if you like suspense, you have to watch Gunpowder Milkshake. Gunpowder Milkshake is fantastic. It's fantastic. It reminded me a little bit of Pleasantville. A little bit of Pleasantville back in the late 80s, early 90s. That quirky 50s, smile on your face, everything's perfect, plastic kind of thing. But having, now just to warn you, Gunpowder Milkshake is very violent. It's a very violent movie. But it's surrounded by this story, and it's packaged with Pleasantville vibes. So you have these kick-ass women. I absolutely love them. I love them. Love them, love them. And it's got comedy, it has one-liners, it has women we've watched in other movies that we just absolutely love. And you see all this violence, but yet you're seeing it, they're guns for hire, basically. And they're with this organization, you can call it mafia-esque. And they go and they take care of business for them. And it's a family business, really. The daughter's doing it now, the mother's still doing it. And it's that kind of lifestyle, but it's wrapped in librarians with smiles on their face that dressed out of the 50s, and you're in a diner, and the diner's understanding everything that's happening, but you can't bring your guns in. It's just Pleasantville vibes. if you haven't watched that movie, go back and watch it. That was really, really funny too. That was with Tobey Maguire. But anyway, Gunpowder Milkshake. Gunpowder Milkshake. I love it. It is violent, so if you can't watch that or you don't want to watch that, don't let your kids watch that. But if you like that action, suspense, kick-ass women vibe, it's totally it. And I have my favorite scenes that you just laugh out loud, even though you feel bad for laughing out loud. But it's just a really, really fun action, suspense thriller with great funny one-liners and a good group of women that you've probably seen in many, many times in many other movies. So those are the 4 Netflix films that I'm totally obsessed with right now. The Woman in the Window, Things Seen and Heard, Aftermath, and Gunpowder Milkshake. Absolutely loved them. If you have nothing else to watch this weekend, I encourage you to pick one of those and watch it this weekend. I hope you like it as much as I did. And again, Netflix is one of my favorite programmings right now, so you'll hear tons and tons of things on my channel about Netflix and all the things they're doing. So happy Friday. Have a great weekend. I hope you enjoy this video. I hope you look at my recommendations and take me up on them and look at them. If you're going to watch any one of them and you like all kind of genres of film, I would encourage you to see Things Seen and Heard and Gunpowder Milkshake first. 2 different types of vibes, but very enjoyable. All right, have a great weekend. I'll see you soon.